Good evening. It is night 6 in our journey through Hanukkah in discovering more about our friends and the roots of our faith. As always, we begin this night listening to our blessing. Baruch Ato Adonai, Olehu, Malay, Olam Asher Kitchenu, B'mitzotov, B'titzavana, al hadlak. Tivoli hadlak near Chanel Hanukkah. Hanukkah. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who has sanctified us by his commandments, and has commanded us to kindle the lights of Hanukkah. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who wrought miracles for our fathers in days of old at this season. Amen. The prayers of old were said, but really, they're the prayers of today. The prayers of peace and hope and light. The prayers that God will come as he does, as he comes to you and me in each and every day of our lives, as he comes in this season of Advent, in this time of Hanukkah as well. He comes in the light and the life and the hopes and the dreams, the future of what is and what always has been. It is that he comes to you and me, comes and hears our prayers, to hear our hurts, our pains, to hear us in each and every day. He comes anew. On this sixth night of Hanukkah, 1 month goes and another one comes, but Hanukkah, unique among our holidays, keeps going strong. Dedication to the good transcends time and fashion. All else may change, but this is the unmoving ground underneath our feet. Dedication to the good. Isn't that our hope and our dream as well? Isn't that what we also want to remember as we move through our journey? I want to read to you tonight the message by Rabbi Shira Stern. He really sums up so well what Hanukkah is. And I thought it was pertinent just to read his words tonight. It's no coincidence that the story and the celebration of Hanukkah coincide with the Christian holiday of Christmas. They both are meant to lighten up the darkest days of winter, when it's scary and cold and the days get shorter and the nights longer. But though Christmas is a big deal for Christians, whether you mark it religiously or with a tree and presents, Hanukkah is a minor holiday for Jews. Because Christmas is such a major holiday all over the world, some people make Hanukkah just as significant. However, it is actually much less important than the holiday of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, Passover, Sukkot, Shabbat, and the weekly Sabbath. Sometimes people try to make Hanukkah similar to Christmas, putting up Hanukkah bushes and Hanukkah stockings. But this takes away what is unique about each of the holidays. For each one belongs to a different tradition. The story and the tradition of Hanukkah comes from Jewish history In the 2nd century BCE, before the Common Era, the Syrian Greeks had control over the land of Israel, with King Antiochus IV ruling over the Jews. During this time, Jews weren't allowed to celebrate their Sabbath or their holidays. Don't worry, I didn't leave. I just had to figure out a way to have some light as I'm reading, because it's becoming a little difficult. You know, those darkest of days do present a problem when you're doing something in the dark. So we're back. In the 2nd century BCE, I read that, the Syrian Greeks had control over the land of Israel with King Antiochus IV ruling over the Jews. During the time, Jews weren't ruling over the Jews. Oh, wait a minute. The Jews weren't allowed to celebrate their Sabbath or their holidays, study religious texts, or circumcise their children on pain of death. They were even banned from entering their holy temple. While some Jews accepted these strict laws, others, the Hasmoneans, with Judah Maccabee, the hammer, as their leader, fought to preserve their traditions and stayed Jewish. After 3 years of hard battle, the Maccabees succeeded in taking back Jerusalem against a huge Syrian army. They cleaned out the temple that the Greeks had defiled by putting up statues and sacrificing, actually barbecuing pork on the altar. They relit the light that was never supposed to go out and sat down to celebrate the most important holiday to a farming community, the week-long harvest festival of Sukkot. The next year, in 164 BCE, they had Sukkot at the right time, in September, October-ish. But they wanted to do something special to remember their victory. So they created another 8-day holiday dedicated to rededication, which is what the word Hanukkah actually means. You may know the other story about Hanukkah, about the small amount of oil that miraculously lasted an entire week. Each story was meant to tell us something different. The military story really shows how a few people with a dream can achieve their goal when they work together. And the oil story reminds us that God can make miracles happen, bringing light into the world and giving us strength. Sometimes we forget that the power of a single tiny flame can illumine the darkness and dispel much more than gloom. We keep alive the stories of Hanukkah because we are now keepers of the flame. So we light candles each night of the holiday and sing about the miracles, both human and divine. One small light made their 8-day celebration a joyous one, and ours as well. From then until now, that small light continues to grow every time family and friends participate in making Hanukkah happen. Well, I find it interesting because every year, and I think I've shared this, as scouts we try to bring the Bethlehem light from the grotto in Bethlehem. Most years we've been able to, excuse me, until this year. Oh, I'm sorry. The candle I was using to give me light was choking me. We were not able to bring it from Bethlehem this year. And many of us had received that light last year. And so we have become the keepers of the light. I hadn't thought about the significance of what that meant as a keeper of the light. a keeper of one who says it is important. It is about changing. It is about being the people of God. The people of God called and set apart. People of God who are going to tell the story, to keep the light going, to fan the flame no matter where we are. It is that is what Hanukkah is all about. Now, many of you have wondered, I spell Hanukkah with the CH. Many times you see it with just the H at the beginning. It's a translation issue that happened at different times in history. They're both correct. They're both accurate. It's just that I prefer to use and it was a transliteration from how the word in Hebrew was translated. So there's both ways are right. So don't get upset if you see it one way and not the other. The other thing that happens at Hanukkah, and actually every time when our friends visit the temple and worship, and when they leave each other, well, actually, shalom is the word used. Shalom actually means hello. It means goodbye. It means peace. It's a word that transcends across the meanings. It is a word that encompasses all of the emotion of both the excitement of arrival, of being together, and the joy that there is. But then maybe the sadness in having to leave where you just were. Shalom. See, shalom to each of us. Shalom as we go about our week. Shalom as we continue this journey of Hanukkah. This journey that has taken you and me maybe down a road we hadn't planned on being on. Hopefully this road has been a positive road for each of us. And so it is tonight that as we leave, we listen to one more song, and a reminder that tomorrow we will do Hanukkah, day 7, at 6 o'clock, and then we will do Advent at 7 o'clock. Shalom, my friends, as we leave this night. My prayers are with each of you as we still have our friends and family who are suffering from COVID, from the deaths that have been taken and the lives lost, to just the unrest in our communities. Let our hearts this night be with those candles. Watch them move. Let them be the light and the flame that moves us to know God's Spirit for all eternity. Shalom, my friends. Go in peace. Amen.